Hello there. Welcome back to another episode of Dumb Stuff with Matt. Well, we're still waiting on parts for the Spitfire, but one project's kind of been nagging me. I need to just get it done. So I think that's our focus this weekend. This is the front clip off of the little Spitfire. I think we're going to, I don't know, figure out some way to make this look a little nicer, huh? So, obviously it's going to need to cut and buff. We're going to knock that out this evening. The coloring on this is pretty cool. That patina, the oldness, the sunburn, the horribly thick paint job. So let's drag it out in the middle here and assess what we got. Hang tight here. I kind of forgot what this looks like in the light. I don't think I've seen it on the car in probably a few months. Where are my rags and where is the spray? You know, if I stayed halfway organized around here, we'd actually be able to get some things done in a hurry. Oh, there it is. So, I had done some researching, and they make a fiberglass front clip, but those are like $3,000, and you have to bring them in from the UK. So, we are definitely not doing that. What's our next best plan of attack here? Let's wipe the dust off of her. Perfect. Just that nice grimy, gritty dust. Perfect for restoring paints. Yep. Tell you what, one of these days I'm going to get a garage air conditioner that actually works. This is borderline miserable. Miserable, as they say. So, let's work on getting more dust off. Obviously the hood took the brunt of the sun damage compared to the rest of the car. It sat with its nose outside of a garage for what I'm told was 40 years. There is something cool about the color of this car, the paint, the shine, everything. I love the color. So, let's use that as our before. Let me go chase down the most redneck buffer I can find, and we'll use some of the special sauce on this fella. Hang tight. All right. So, previous work done on the car over here, we use these two products. This one first, this one second. I could be wrong. It doesn't really matter. They came out looking good enough for the girls I date. So, I'm gonna put you guys on fast mode, try to work my way through with this horribly trashy buffer. That's the one you guys have been following for a while. It likes to short out if you don't hang it at the right angle. Angle of the dangle, so to speak. So, off we go. Just that first pass with the rubbing compound made a heck of a difference. Let's keep the half and half going, and we'll try the polishing compound next, see if we can get a little more shine out of her. But really, compared to her other half, this is gonna do just fine for me. I could go over and wet sand it and do all the stuff, but let's be honest here, guys, this is an $800 car. And I don't really feel like, wet sand and 95% humidity at 90 degrees. It is incredibly sticky out here. Oh my gosh. I am just dripping. So, let's try to get this first half looking as good as it can. Back to slow-mo for you. I do love the way the thing cleans up. Looks fantastic from a distance till you get up on it and you see all the divots. But we're about halfway done with what we're going to get done today. It is just a little too warm for me. Whew, it's in my eyes. Got the poo on me. Anyway, all right. I'm going to take a quick breather here. Maybe step inside the air conditioning for a few minutes. Be right back on it. You know what? Change of plans. It's ridiculous warm and sticky out here, so we're just going to power through and then take a shower when we're done, because that makes more sense to just be done with it. So, put you guys back on speed check mode, and hang tight. And just like that, a little bit of elbow grease can make something shiny that probably shouldn't really be shiny. But I think that's going to do it for this evening. My wife is bartending. Figured I'd go sit around a bar and see if I can get to the bottom of a beer can. I think tomorrow we'll go to the old hardware store. Maybe get some things to make a bottom lip kit. I do have the little itty bitty bumperettes that go on each side. We're probably going to incorporate those in and see if we can't make this thing look a little more like a car and a little less like a project. Because, you know, it's usually what project cars are for. But it is warm out here. I don't know if you guys can see my shirt, but that's all sweat all the way down my arms. It's in my eyes. Does look better though. Gonna look even better mounted up. So I think we're gonna cut it here, guys. We will check in tomorrow morning after a haircut and a hardware store visit. Well, she looks like a car again, guys. I got all the stuff to work on making a front lip for it to, you know, kind of make the front a little nicer. We got some wood. We got some tin. Let's actually, you know what? We're gonna take a break tonight. I'm dealing with a sinus headache, and even talking makes me hurt. So I'm gonna take a day off and maybe go to bed early for once. So we'll see you guys whenever I feel like getting back to it. Well, I guess we'll get back to it today. Saturday afternoon, about 4 o'clock. I did grab the little bumper pieces off the shelf. I think we're going to go hose them off, do some wet sanding, try to get some patina to match the car. So let me get them washed real quick, and then we'll start tinkering. Be right back with you. Well, we just got them back from the wash bay. They do look a little nicer cleaned up, but they are still pretty ratty. If you've been following this this build series along, you know, I see a lot of comments about why don't you just restore the car? That's why. This thing has a story, and it wants to tell it. Is it perfect? Definitely not. Is the body straight? Definitely not. Dents, dings all over the place, okay? I'm pretty sure this entire front clip is held together by 2 inches of Bondo in places, like right here, or where it's splitting in the front. Anywhere you look on this bonnet is nothing but putty. A replacement bonnet assembly, if you can even find the parts these days, is probably going to be north of $3,500. I'm $2,000 into the whole car, and even at best, a fully restored one is going to go for $6,000. The math is not there to restore one of these, hence the rat roddy appearance. So, on our list, up next, we're going to let the water dry off the rest of these. And then we're going to do a little bit of fancy paint work, see if we can't get those to match that. So I will check back in when I get that far. And just like that, they're mostly dry. Our next move is to get rid of some of this paint that just wants to chip off because I can't polish that. So, I don't even know what grit sandpaper. Then we wipe it down to get all the crud off. This is worse than the body was when I did this to the body, so results may vary, so to speak. Okay, so the goal here is we're going to cover up all these rust spots with something that looks a little more like rust instead of just old junky British metal. Walmart, real orange. Let's lay a thin coat of this down. Ta-da! Everywhere I sanded heavy is where I'm going to put it, especially the rust hole. And when we get to the drying time, you'll see why. So you just got to go a little thin coat, heavier over the spots that we really carved on or are really rusty, because I want it to stick. And when we go through the polish process, you'll be glad you put more paint on. In fact, I think for this one, we're just going to go ahead and do the whole thing. You can always take the paint off. Not as easy to put it back on. So it's kind of a, think of it as a guide coat right now. Oh, missed a spot. Fixed it. You don't even have to worry about runs, because it doesn't matter. You're going to sand it all through. That looks terrible, but that's okay. It'll look better after the next step. We got to let this stuff dry up. I've already done the other side. I tested it first, so I'll check back in. I did forget to mention some of the satin seaside over the heavily rusted areas. Whoa, sorry, like here and up here and over here and down here, to give it a little bit of texture whenever we go to wet sand this all out. So now we can sit and let it cure. Now the color of the blue does look pretty bright, but when I did this the last time, if you look real close in here, you're going to see little spots of that same blue after it's been wet sanded and then cleared over. So let's see if I can duplicate, huh? After those two colors have cured up, we're going to go over it with just a little bit of red. By a little bit, I mean a lot. Yep. Spin her around here. Really trying to fill in all those little spots where the rust has eaten through. Now we let that cure up. This round we were using some random stuff I had around the garage. Let's let it cure. Almost forgot. I went over that red with a little more orange. We're just trying to get some layers on those spots that are super low, hoping that when we go to sand, we get a nice old rusty look instead of old crappy like it looked before. We'll check back in after it cures. Well, let's finish this one up, guys. Still dealing with a little bit of that sinus headache. Probably gonna have to end up going to the doctor, I think. I'm hurting a little bit, but you know, beer is good. Ibuprofen helps. Let's get some forward progress going on this old girl. So before we can do anything with the bumper, because I don't have any of the original brackets, and I'm sure not going to be ordering any of them, I need to get the hood into a situation where it actually hinges up and down like it's supposed to. As you can see, this little guy here is the hood. This little guy here is the frame. I've got it sitting about where I want it. Body lines, definitely not perfect, but nothing about this car is perfect. So I think what we're going to do is we're just going to drill some holes right through here, all the way across. We'll put a bolt in there, one on each side. You can see I've already cleaned up the frame rail. It was originally sticking out to about right here. Basically, I want to see how much, when this hood flips up, I want to see how much the front of it goes down so we can make some sort of bumper attachment, something. I don't know what we're going to do yet. Maybe a splitter. Could be. I don't know. We'll see. So, I actually did the right thing and spent some money on some Milwaukee cobalt drill bits. From the research, this is supposed to be the best thing you can buy for a hardened steel type drilling application. So I think, we're going to start with the tiny guy, work our way up to the big guy, and then put a bolt in there to hold the hood on. So let me get you on the stand and we'll be off to the races. Alright, so the first thing we got to do is make sure we're doing the same thing on each side, because I want to make sure when the hood flips up, it's equal on each side. Now, again, when I bought the car, all of this stuff was all either rusted or missing pieces. So we're kind of rigging it, I guess we could say. But at the same time, given the shape of the car, this is about the best I'm going to spend on it. So looks like we've got just a hair over 3.5 inches from the back side of the frame to the end of the frame rail. So I think we're going to shoot for about 2.5, and then we're going to come a 1/2 inch down. Actually, you know what? We're going to go 1 inch down. So 2.5, 1 inch down. Now, this is definitely technical, guys. Don't, got our little punch. Perfect. I like it. And for the sake of your ears, we are going to put you on the Hyperloop so you don't have to hear this, because it's going to get loud. And just like that, one side is bolted up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and knock out the other side, but I'm not gonna do it on camera. You guys just sat and watched me fight through this one. No need for you to see it again, so I'll check back in when we're done. And we have 2 completed hood attachment bolts, we'll call them. Now comes the real test. Does it flip open like it's supposed to? Be pretty cool if it did. Let me find a hood prop and see if we can get this thing to open up. Hang tight. So here it is. I have never seen this car with its hood on proper. This is either going to be an instant fail, which, let's be honest, is good for YouTube, or it's a win, which is also good for YouTube. I found this thing that looks a lot like your mom here. We're going to use it as a prop rod until our support rods get here. Tell you what, these flies can go fuck themselves. Did I say that out loud? I am sorry. I did not mean to cuss. YouTube algorithm, that was my bad. Won't happen again. Okay. Lift one side. Stay. Oh, rivet. That's good. And holy shamoly! It opens. Oh! And it holds itself. Ha ha! Victory! Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm 90% sure it opens up more now than it did from the factory. I was worried that this is gonna be removable, so if I had to work on it, I could. But dang. Hang on here, let me get you in so you can see this magnificentness. Now, don't mind the unevenness. My machining skills are that of a third grader. But look at all the room for activities in here. Holy smokes, I can dang near. Look at that. I could time the thing from the other side of the car. Well, I might be making a big deal about it, fellas, but when you're working on a project car like this that has taken years of your life, sometimes you got to take the wins when you get one, and that is most certainly a win. Look at that thing. That's like exactly 90 degrees. Huh. Well, anywho, I think we're going to cut this video here and work on the bumper tomorrow night going into Saturday and Sunday. The little bumper pieces that I painted, I haven't even started sanding yet. Like I said, that sinus whatever I've got has kind of been keeping me out of the game for a hot minute here. I got a couple golf cart videos done. We got another golf cart video coming up Saturday, I think, is when I'm doing that one. So, I think we're going to call this one here. Thursday night, about 7:45-ish. I still got to edit, put it all together. Hoping to have it live for you guys by tomorrow evening. Oh. That worked. I've been holding off on that project for quite some time because I wasn't sure what I was going to do. I don't know that I'm going to leave it this way. But dang, does it look cool. Don't even need that prop rod. Get yourself out of here. Alright guys, seriously, I gotta get this wrapped up. I got some editing to do. And I didn't even notice I didn't even paint the top half of the inside of the hood. Or the bottom half. But I wasn't joking about all the Bondo. Look at all that. Yep. Bondo, rust, and cobwebs. Looks like we got to rewire the hood now that I got a concept of how this is going to work. That's okay. We'll make that work as well. But, again, I'm rambling here. Kind of excited to see it now have a hood on. Very cool, very cool, very cool. So, I guess, guys, we're going to call it right here. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Summer is starting to come down to a close a little bit here. It's 7:50 and starting to get dark. You know what that means. Them drive to work in the dark, come home from work in the dark is coming up on us. Let's enjoy it while we got it. You guys have a nice weekend. We will see you on the next one. Deuces!